Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder how your face pulls off those incredible expressions, from a subtle smile to a dramatic frown, all without you even thinking about it? Well, this new research dives deep into that mystery. Let's talk about your face, specifically the muscles around your mouth. You use them for talking, eating, making faces, and even just holding your mouth closed. This is called perioral motor control. Now, usually when our bodies control intricate movements like picking up a tiny object or walking, they rely on special sensors inside our muscles and joints. These sensors are like tiny navigators telling the brain exactly where your body parts are and how they're moving. Think of proprioception, that sense of where your limbs are in space. But here is the puzzle. The muscles around your mouth, the ones that make all those expressions happen, they don't have these usual tiny navigators. The nerves that control these muscles are purely for sending commands out, not for sending information back about position or stretch. And unlike your arms or legs, you can't see your mouth moving in real time to guide it. So how does your brain achieve such precise control over your lips and mouth? How do you make speech sounds or form a perfect smile if the usual sensory feedback system is missing? Scientists have noticed this problem for a while. They know that if you numb your lower lip, for example, you can start biting it without realizing it. This suggests that some kind of feedback is absolutely crucial for controlling your mouth. They also know that the skin on your face is packed with touch sensors called mechanoreceptors. These are the sensors that tell you about pressure, vibration, and stretching. Some researchers have wondered if these touch sensors might be stepping in to do the job of the missing proprioceptors. This is where the new ORIS model comes in. ORIS stands for Orofacial Region as Integrated System. It is a fancy way of saying they've come up with a new idea about how your face works, specifically the muscles around your mouth. They propose that instead of relying on internal muscle sensors, your brain uses the touch sensors in your skin to control your mouth. So what exactly are these skin sensors measuring? The ORIS model suggests it is not about precise angles or length like in your arm. Instead, it is about the spatial distribution of surface tension across the skin of your face, especially around your mouth. Imagine your facial skin as a flexible sheet. When your muscles move, they stretch and pull this sheet, creating tension. The touch sensors in the skin pick up on these stretches and changes in tension. Think of your mouth muscles like a team. The orbicularis oris muscle, the one that circles your mouth like a sphincter, is like the main anchor. It creates a baseline tension. Then other muscles, like the ones that pull your lips up, down, or sideways, act like directional pulls. These forces all converge at a key point called the modiolus, which is near the corner of your mouth. The ORIS model suggests that the motor system is essentially trying to keep the balance of tension across this whole facial sheet just right, using the modiolus as a central hub for force distribution. This is quite different from how your arm works. Your arm has joints and muscles that act across those joints, and it is all about controlling angles. Your face is more like a continuous deformable sheet where muscles pull on the skin and other muscles. The proposed feedback loop works like this. Your brain sends signals through the facial nerve to the muscles around your mouth, telling them to move and create a certain shape. This movement stretches the skin. The touch sensors in that stretched skin then send signals back through the trigeminal nerve to the brain. If the tension or stretch isn't what the brain intended, it sends out new commands to correct the movement. This happens incredibly fast in milliseconds. They believe this feedback is especially important for voluntary movements like deliberately rounding your lips for a kiss or precisely shaping them for speech. Spontaneous expressions like a genuine smile triggered by emotion might be more pre-programmed and rely less on this real-time feedback. Now, how do we know if this ORIS model is right? The researchers came up with 3 specific predictions that can be tested. The first prediction is about what happens if you mess with those skin sensors. If the skin sensors are crucial for fine-tuning movements, then making the area less sensitive. Say with a mild anesthetic shouldn't stop you from making the movement, but it should make the movement less smooth and stable. You might still be able to round your lips to the same extent, but it might look a bit shaky or wobbly, with more trial-to-trial variability. If, however, the movement becomes much smaller, it would suggest a more general motor problem rather than a feedback issue. And this effect should be strongest around those hub areas like the modiolus, where the forces meet. The second part of this prediction is that if you apply a sudden tug to the skin during a movement, the muscle should react quickly to counteract that tug. And this correction should be spread out across different muscles, not just the one directly pulled. The second major prediction is about timing. If there is a fast feedback loop involving the trigeminal nerve and the facial nerve, then tugging on the skin during a mouth movement should cause a quick electrical response in the mouth muscles called an EMG response. They expect an early fast response from a brainstem level circuit and a later, slower response from a more complex cortical loop. If you block the trigeminal nerve, that early fast response should disappear. The third prediction is really interesting. It suggests that if this ORIS model is correct, then messing with the skin sensors should affect your ability to make deliberate, voluntary movements more than your ability to make spontaneous emotional expressions. So you might struggle to round your lips on command, but still be able to smile naturally when you feel happy. This is because voluntary movements, the ones you consciously plan, might rely heavily on the skin feedback, while emotional expressions might be more hardwired. So, what does all this mean? For people with facial paralysis or speech difficulties, this model offers a new way to think about what is going wrong and how to help. Often, rehabilitation focuses on just getting the muscles to move again. But if the problem is a broken feedback system, then simply getting the muscles to twitch might not be enough. The ORIS model suggests that therapies that help retrain or enhance the skin's touch feedback, like using vibration devices or mirror therapy, could be really beneficial. They might help restore the smooth, stable control needed for talking and making expressions. And it also has implications for understanding emotions. Some theories suggest that the way we feel emotions is partly influenced by the signals our own facial muscles send back to the brain. The ORIS model reframes this. Maybe it is not the muscle signals, but the skin signals that are more important for this facial feedback. If you can't feel the stretch and tension on your skin properly, it might affect how well you process and even recognize emotions in others. This is why people born with facial paralysis, who never develop this sensory feedback loop properly, sometimes have trouble recognizing emotions. It is not just that they can't make the faces, but they might be missing that internal sense of what those faces feel like. Now, like any study, this one has its limits. The researchers are clear that their model focuses on the feedback that stabilizes movements, not necessarily on how movements are initiated or planned in the first place, and they aren't claiming to explain how we recognize other people's expressions, except perhaps through shared internal simulation systems. What is really cool about this research is that it offers a concrete, testable explanation for a long-standing puzzle. How our faces achieve such amazing precision without the usual sensory equipment? It suggests that the humble touch sensors in our skin are far more important for facial control than we might have realized. They've laid out specific predictions, and future experiments will tell us if this ORIS model is the right key to unlocking the secrets of facial motor control. It's a reminder that our bodies are incredibly ingenious, finding clever workarounds for even the most complex challenges. What do you think about this ORIS model? Does it make sense to you that your skin's touch sensors might be doing the heavy lifting for your facial expressions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this exploration into the science of faces fascinating, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more deep dives into the human mind. We'll see you in the next one.